Hello, my name is Jerry. The first person account I chose is Recovered Not Cured, A Journey Through Schizophrenia by Richard McLean. This book deeply challenged and expanded my perspective as a future occupational therapist. It reminded me that mental illness is not always visible. Recovery is highly individual, and as OTs, our role goes beyond fixing to empowering. Today, I will discuss three key themes: recovery, stigma, and treatment, and how they connected to OT practice. Theme one is the recovery. McLean's phrase, recovered not cured, resonated strongly with me. The McLean writes, I'm not cured, but I have recovered parts of my life that I thought were lost forever. This quote highlights that his recovery was not about symptom elimination, but about regaining meaning and participation. McLean's story gives us an example of chronic mental health progression across the clinical stages. We can trace his path from the stage 1A's mild early symptoms right through to stage 3's ongoing management needs. But here is what really stands out to me as future OT. At no point in his account do we see anyone applying this staging framework or providing the kind of early occupational intervention that could have changed his trajectory. His story highlighted the importance of early intervention. In the future practice, I will start with the psychoeducation to help clients understand their condition and develop insight. The motivational interviewing could enhance readiness for change by exploring their values and goals. As clients gain insight, I would use CBT to challenge unhelpful thought patterns and promote adaptive coping strategies. The tools like the action diaries and action planning could help rebuild routines and restore a sense of agency. And the theme too is stigma. Stigma, both external and internal, was a major barrier for McLean. He felt labeled as crazy and isolated from his peers, which reinforced feelings of worthlessness. He also said, a nurse once stood between me and the exit, not because I was violent, but because her textbook said schizophrenics are unpredictable. He described when people find out I had schizophrenia, they look at me differently, as if I might snap at any moment. This reflects both external stigma and self stigma. Reinforcing the feelings of isolation, stigma is a social determinant of mental health and a major obstacle to recovery. As an OT, I see a critical role in addressing stigma through both individual and community level interventions. At the individual level, I would use the intentional relationship model to build trust and create a therapeutic space free of judgment. And acceptance and commitment therapy, also called ACT, could help clients like the McLean distance themselves from the self stigmatizing thoughts and reconnect with their values. At the community level, I would advocate for inclusive environments by supporting the anti stigma education and programs that promote social inclusion. The practical strategies include the facilitating the peer support groups and using graded exposure to help clients re-engage with the avoided social situation. For the McLean, this might have involved gradually returning to art exhibitions and or volunteering, rebuilding his sense of belonging and purpose. And theme three is treatment. The McLean's account of treatment highlighted both its necessity and its challenges. He noted the medications helped quiet the voices, but they also dulled everything else. I felt like a ghost of myself. He described antipsychotic medications as life saving, yet burdensome due to the side effects. He also described his hospital stays as traumatic, saying, I hated being in the hospital. It felt like being in prison, surrounded by people who saw me as my diagnosis, not as a person. And this shows he struggled to trust the health professions at first, feeling their approach was mechanical and lacked empathy. In clinical practice, I would conduct regular mental state examinations, also called MSE, and risk assessments to monitor clients' mental health and safety. For the emotional regulation and distress tolerance, DBT could provide valuable skills. Additionally, sensory modulation strategies can help clients manage anxiety. In the later stages of recovery, I would focus on rebuilding occupational roles through the supported employment, the routine building strategies, and facilitating engagement in meaningful community based occupations. In conclusion, Recovered Not Cured taught me that recovery is not about erasing illness, but about restoring meaning and participation. Instead of applying a one size fits all approach, I want to meet each client as a unique individual. I hope to practice with what our lectures called beginner's mindset, remaining open, curious, and ready to learn from each client's story. I see my role not as someone who repairs a broken person, but as a collaborator who helps design the supportive scaffolding while empowering clients to use their own strengths to rebuild their lives. As a future occupational therapist, I'm committed to practicing with the empathy, patience, and cultural humility. I hope to create spaces where clients feel safe to grow, explore their potential, and rediscover their places in their communities. It, I think that will be all. Thank you.